hood, falling out the hood, falling getting money like a real one should. I'ma take a sip, get a little lit back in a bit, meditate, I think I should. No, we ain't friends, got me on 10.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another video here on Peg City Hockey. Now, today we're talking again with the trade rumors coming out of Winnipeg. Winnipeg is going to be the #1 trade rumor destination this entire offseason with the players that they have demanding trades. And Connor Hellebuyck, Blake Wheeler, Mark Scheifele, Pierre-Luc Dubois, and who knows who else is unhappy behind the scenes, it seems like. But nonetheless, let's talk about Connor Hellebuyck and Blake Wheeler. Some new updates that came out in the later part of yesterday that I saw. I got a chance to really read into and decided to cover it because I think it's honestly worth talking about, especially the first thing we're going to kick off with, the Blake Wheeler news. Now, this is coming from Steve Dangle. Now, I know what you're thinking. Yeah, that's Steve Dangle. Steve Dangle, the crazy dude that does kind of what I do, that it seems like he's ripping me off. No, I'm just kidding. He's Steve Dangle. Like, you know, like, I know he works for Sportsnet, but his sources, like, I know I don't know, that just seems like a weird thing to be quoting. But that's who we're talking about, is that Steve Dangle is coming out here and saying that it is a good chance that he is moved, but still, it looks like a buyout is what's going to happen. $8.25 million cap hit. Yeah, currently, it would be a $2.75 million cap hit for the next 2 seasons if they buy him out. But Blake Wheeler is still a useful player. Now, obviously, Blake Wheeler is a useful player at a certain cap hit, not at that $8.25 million value that he's at right now. He had 55 points in 72 games last year. Definitely a big decline from where he was in the year before with 65 games played and 60 points. This year, we really saw the decline of Blake Wheeler, especially in the mid part to the end part of that season there. The final stretch, he was really lacking. There were a couple moments where it was like, yo, big Blake Wheeler return, Blake Wheeler shift out of nowhere, but that was about it with Blake Wheeler. So, it's been rough with Wheels. We've known it. He lost the C for his first year here with Bonus. He lost the C. There's just been a lot of stuff with Wheeler. Like, I'm not going to go into the shit on Blake Wheeler train, but he's been here since the beginning, was the former captain, had the C taken away from him, all the locker room drama bullshit that's come out in the last 5 years regarding this team, all kind of comes from Blake Wheeler. Like, I hate to say that, but every time there's been a story brought up about the locker room and culture of the Winnipeg Jets, it's always somehow related to Blake Wheeler because he was the captain. So obviously moving on from him at this point into a retool, into a new identity for the Jets is huge. That being said, I don't know if they buy him out. I really don't know if they buy him out. It just does not seem like the true north thing to do. Now, I say that from I say that as a diehard Jets fan. So if you're watching this video right now and you're looking at this video and you're like, okay, Blake Wheeler might become a free agent, Blake Wheeler might be available to sign, I want Blake Wheeler on my team for depth. Because I don't know why you wouldn't. Blake Wheeler is a very good depth forward with some offensive skill left, 55 points in 72 games. Now, he played a lot in the minutes, and I know you're going to bring in that argument, but I would still take Blake Wheeler on my team if he was at a good cap hit and I wanted the Winnipeg Jets. But that is, like I said, so he has value. So I'm not going to say, I don't think he'll be traded. I don't think any team is going to go out there and trade for him. If there was value in the trade world for Wheeler, even with that cap hit, he would have been moved already. So I think the buyout makes sense. It just, the fact that True North would buy out the franchise GOAT, just if you know anything about True North Sports Entertainment, the group that owns the Winnipeg Jets, you know that that's just not a move that they would make. Like, they waited so long on Paul Maurice that he had to quit and not even get fired before he had a chance to finally get a change of scenery and go over down to Florida. I just don't know if this happens with the buyout. Like, it makes so much sense. The cap hit is fine. Get rid of Wheeler. I'm all good with it. I just don't know if True North makes this decision just because of who Blake Wheeler is as a person to the franchise that is the Winnipeg Jets. Not the current core of the Jets, but what they were and what they have been for the last 12 years. Blake Wheeler has been there from the start. So if you were going to remove Blake Wheeler, True North, I could just see them getting upset about that. And I think it's dumb, but I just don't know. He had 6 points in 5 playoff games too, guys. So, like, let's not forget that True North looks at that stuff and they're like, oh, well, maybe he's got some left. One more year, let's hold on to him, or whatever it is. I just don't know. It rubs me the wrong way. I'm not a big fan of it. So, with that being said, I hope he gets bought out. But that feeling that True North gives me when they just do these stupid decisions when it comes to alumni and loyalty, I just don't know if they make this move. I really hope they do, but I just don't know if it happens, because if that buyout cap hit, why wouldn't you make this move? Now, the other big thing that happened today that I saw is obviously more trade rumors revolving around Connor Hellebuyck. Now, the Devils had been rumored in the past couple of weeks as a team that would be interested, or would most likely be interested, I should say, in acquiring Hellebuyck, but it seems like today is when the news officially started to get going, and that they've actually had legit conversations, and the Devils are moving up on that list of potential suitors for Connor Hellebuyck. And again, I think this makes sense for the Devils standpoint. When you're looking at things for the Jets, you know, Connor Hellebuyck is obviously Connor Hellebuyck. The man is absolutely insane. The stats say enough for themselves. But I don't know what you necessarily get back in value from the Devils. You know, like, obviously their first round pick this year is gone. Their third round pick this year is gone. They only have a second, so I doubt they're really looking to move out any real picks of value this year. So that would mean that your first round pick that you'd be getting for Hellebuyck would be in next year's draft. They don't even have a second in next year's round, so it gets messy with the picks. And I think if you're trading Hellebuyck, you need a mass haul of picks and prospects to kind of get that cabinet really going again. And get the youth, really get it movement going in Winnipeg. Because right now we've got a couple guys that are going to make this team. Heinola's going to make this team. You know, you're going to have fighting down there for the bottom six with opportunities. Declan Chisholm, there's a lot of opportunity for the defensemen right now. I don't know how the Jets are going to do this retool idea that they have with the fact they're thinking that they don't have to rebuild, and when they're going to be trading away so many core pieces of any team in the NHL. Like, anytime you lose your goalie, your number one center, regardless of how good those players are, just in general, losing those key contributors. And they don't really have anyone to plug those holes right now. They have a lot of interesting prospects, but they don't really have a lot of, like, young guys right now on the team, minus Cole Perfetti, that are like, okay, let's see what you can do. Ehlers is getting up there in age. Kyle Connor up there in age. You know, Josh Morrissey up there in age. Cole Perfetti is the youngest forward in the top six, right? Like, that in itself is a problem. You don't have a future for right now coming in trying to carry. You've got 2-3 years down the line, potentially. I know Brad Lambert's looking good, but you need to make a really big splash for that. So I look at what they've got available, you know. Obviously, Nicky Fischer's not getting traded. I don't think Jesper Bratt gets traded, but again, maybe if you look at that, like, again, that's what it's going to take in a Connor Hellebuyck trade, right? Like, it's going to be a massive player coming back. And I do not want Dougie Hamilton shoveled off, but that, like, again, like, it just, I don't know. I have to look more in deep, I have to look deeper as a fan into what I think would make sense for the Jets right now, but they're just in this messy spot where I can't really predict anything. Like, if a trade happened with the Devils, it wouldn't surprise me. It makes a lot of sense from the Devils standpoint, but I have no idea what to tell you guys about what a mock would look like, because I have no idea what the Jets are doing. They're making no sense. They're bleeding talent everywhere you look in this roster, yet they're going to tell you it's a retool, and they're going to try to add guys like they're going to do what they did with the Jacob Trouba situation. They're going to be like, oh, well, we'll take Neil Pionk because he's good, and that's good, and we'll sign him because he'll be happy to be here, and then we'll be fine. Like, they're going to try to do that and plug the holes so that we can be okay with the guys we have now, and then get these prospects into the team and see what happens. So, moving Hellebuyck, the best part about this team, and then filling it with a bunch of holes, a bunch of, you know, okay players. You know, there should be some really, really good players coming back, but I just don't know what the Jets are looking for. They should be looking for future return in draft capital, but I think they're going to settle with players that can try to help them now, kind of like what they did back when they traded Evander Kane. You know, get Tyler Myers, get Drew Stafford, get guys on the roster. I think that's what Chevy's trying to do. And again, when you have a player like Connor Hellebuyck that has that much value, I don't think getting a haul of just some okay players is necessarily the best thing right now. You know, back when the Jets were, you know, in that spot where they didn't have a lot of players coming up, they were a brand new team in Winnipeg. It made sense to acquire guys that could help the team now, and that did. You know, Stafford played an important role. Myers was on the team that went to the conference final. These guys were around and helped develop core players. No one was a bigger defender of Drew Stafford than me. We flipped him to get Declan Chisholm. The point being, I don't think that this trade would make sense, or trading Hellebuyck like that in general makes sense. And I think that that's kind of what Chevy's looking at with Hellebuyck. I think he's looking to get a mass package of guys that can help plug into the team and make us, you know, be tolerable without him. I don't think he's looking at the draft capital as much, because if the Devils are really serious, and they are a team that I keep seeing constantly in the rumors about Hellebuyck, they're one of those teams that have been there since the start. If they really are trying to make this move, then the draft, I don't see, like, they've got their first round pick in the next year's draft, and then the first round pick in 2025 is a condition, which is sent to San Jose if it's a top 10 pick. So, like, I'm just saying, like, there's conditions on even the pick that they would trade us for their next two firsts. So, take that with a grain of salt. Connor Hellebuyck's at least worth 2 first-round picks, so I don't want picks in 2026. I want picks in now. I don't want to be trying to compete in 10 years when we're getting picks in 3 years. I don't want that. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. But again, you know, the Devils are interested. They have some interesting players I would like to get in that type of situation if you're getting good, talented players. But again, I don't think that's going to be the case. I think they're going to be looking at guys to plug the hole. It's maybe a first round pick in next year's draft, and a guy to plug the hole. Andre Palat. I wouldn't be surprised knowing Chevy. Again, it's great to see these rumors because, you know, it's tough to talk about, but I have no idea what the Jets are doing right now, and it's going to be pain because whatever happens, I'm going to be losing some of my favorite players I've grown up watching. So let me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section below on all these rumors. What do you think about the Blake Wheeler buyout rumors? What do you think about the Connor Hellebuyck to New Jersey rumors? What would you like to see the return for Hellebuyck? Let me know all your thoughts down in the comment section below. If it's your first time checking out a video here on Pig City Hockey, definitely drop a subscription, a like, follow me on Twitter, turn on notifications if you haven't already, and check out all the other affiliate links down in the description below. Have a great rest of your night. Peace, love, and positivity as always. Go Jets, go! And I will see you guys again very, very soon.
It'll all be over.